Hiya, it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today we are going to be looking at these tattered lace trio dies. We're going to take each flower and show step by step how we make it up. Now, your tattered lace trio dies are what they say they are. There are 3 steps to them. So you've got your die for your die cutting, then you've got your embossing folder, and then you've got your stamps. So the combination of all 3 make a really nice flower, but obviously you do not have to do all 3 steps at any given time. You could just cut them out, you could use the stamps independently or the embossing folder independently. So you don't have to be restricted. There's actually a lot that can be done and a lot of combinations and things that you could use these for. Now, the tattered lace trio dies are thin metal dies, so they should go in pretty much any machine on the market, and you would just use the sandwich that you would use for thin dies. So just look in your instructions and it will tell you what sandwich you need for your particular machine. Today I'm going to be using my sizzix Big Shot, and so I will be talking through the sandwiches that I am using for that machine. But what we're going to do today is go step by step through the flowers on using all 3 steps and show you how we put each flower together and how it turns out. Okay, so let's get going. So I have here the Nicola set, and I'm going to start by cutting out my lovely die cuts here. So I've got here my magnetic plate, my acrylic plate, well loved, so then my paper, and then I'm going to put my dies cut side down, and that's our really big die. Let's put that in the corner there. And then we're going to get my final acrylic plate and just put that on top, and then run this through your machine. Okay, and then just lift the top plate off. Now what's happened is because the little dies are a bit sticky from being new, they've just stuck to the top of our acrylic mat, but that's nothing, it's just where they've got the guar gum from the packaging on them. So there's one layer, and isn't that nice? And we're just going to pop these out, and it looks really nice in plain or in your coloured. And then we've got one more piece just over here, and that's our layers of our flower. And so now we're going to emboss. With the sizzix, you want to turn back the first tab so that you have tab number 1 going through, and then you want your acrylic plate and then your embossing folder. Now, because I'm using paper, I can put all 3 layers in at once if I want to. There's no problem with that. So we're going to put them just kind of roughly centered. Because of the pattern on the embossing folder, you want to have them even so that when you put the center of the embossing pattern on the center of your flower, it's going to work. So we're just going to pop those over, but again, it's not a massive big deal, don't get too hung up on it, it's just a rough idea. So then just holding that together, pop that onto our plates down here, and then put the lid, our other acrylic mat, down in position, and then just run it through the machine. Now, okay, so then we're going to undo our folder, and we've got beautiful embossing, which we need to just separate our layers. There we go. The next step is to stamp on our flower layers here. Okay, so these are the stamps, and they come as one set that you can use as you want with your trio die set ones. So there's lots of choices here, and they're not labelled to go with any particular set of dies, which is cool. Okay, so let's get the stamps and let's get stamping. Okay, so we're going to stamp a centerpiece on this top layer first of all, and I think this little dotty one would be really nice. So I've just put my stamp on the block there. I've got in my ink, just inking that up and then turning it over and stamping into the centre. Now you don't want to press massively hard because otherwise you squish it and it all kind of blurs. So you just want to give it a nice firmish press. So doesn't that look pretty? So we're just going to grab that one there, pop that down onto our block, ink it up, and then stamp it. And of course you could stamp these before you embossed if you wanted to. So again, just some extra detail. And don't forget we're going to curl all this yet, and that's going to be covered a little by our other centerpiece, so it's just adding a little bit of detail. And then this back one, I think we're going to just leave as it is. Okay, so now the final step, so we've done the 3 steps of the trio die, so the final step is to put it all together. So I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to gently curl the leaves. Now you need to be careful when you do this because one, if it's paper you can actually rip them off. Now that's not the end of the world because you can actually make that right, but the other thing is if you're pulling like this and sort of making it curl, what you can do is actually take the embossing away. Okay, so just be a little cautious because you don't want to get rid of that. And then I'm just going to pop my tool into the centre in the palm of my hand just to curl those petals upwards a little bit. If we look from the side you can see now they've popped up, and I always think that looks quite nice. Okay, so to put it together I'm just going to use some glue gel, and I'm just going to put a little piece in the centre of the bottom layer, and then we'll pop the next layer in. And again, just as we put it in, I'm just going to push down in the centre in the palm of my hand just to create that lovely wrinkly petal-y look that I really like. And again, I think it would look really nice with additional layers. And then I'm going to pop another bit of glue in the middle there. And put that next layer into the centre there. And again, just pushing down. And there we have a lovely pretty flower. Just get a little crystal. Nice, there's a lovely holographic one there, and we'll just pop him in the centre of our flower as a final little touch. Okay, and there is our finished Nicola flower, and I think she looks absolutely gorgeous, and I hope you do too. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.